As we approach the finale of Ahsoka, there are, in my opinion, a lot of loose ends that need to be tied up in order to consider this series a success, or at the very least be considered somewhat memorable. But did we make up any ground and set up the finale, or was this just yet another disappointment? What's up, Nerdgenic Nation and fellow Star Wars enthusiasts, Aaron Waller here, and today I wanted to give my thoughts on the 7th episode of the Star Wars Disney Plus series, Ahsoka. In this episode, Ahsoka arrives to Peridea to find Sabine and potentially stop Thrawn's return, where she's immediately met with obstacles and battles of every kind. Now I'll go ahead and kick things off by saying this was easily the second best episode of the season. And I don't necessarily attribute that to the cameos that we got from legacy characters like C-3PO, or even the hologram return of Hayden Christensen's Anakin Skywalker. Though the training videos were kind of cool, as it has been mentioned before about the videos that Anakin has left behind for training purposes, and even Ezra used them in Rebels. Though I think what we saw was a little bit more of a personal set for Ahsoka. But pretty much anything involving a lightsaber in this episode was pretty great. The rematch between Baylan and Ahsoka was pretty great, and I still have a feeling that we're nowhere near towards the end of that, though unfortunately Ray Stevenson has passed, so how that's going to play out unless they recast the character will be interesting to see what happens there. But there's also Shin and the Night Troopers matching up with Sabine and Ezra while they protect the ninja snails, which was also pretty cool. I felt like I could really see the influence of Rebels in this episode, probably more than I have before so far, especially with the simultaneous fights and positioning of enemies as it bounced back and forth. It finally started feeling like Rebels Season 5 as we kind of all hyped it up to be, beyond just various characters reappearing. Even the Night Mothers did something mildly cool with helping Thrawn pinpoint where Ahsoka was hiding in the Peridea debris field to flush her out. The pacing and overall tone just felt so much better and seemed to click on a different level in this episode than in previous ones. It was simply just firing on just about every single cylinder. But despite this being the second best episode of the season in my opinion, I still feel like a lot of nothing happened, and it was just more build up to an end that I feel like I don't really know if it's coming anymore. And sure, the penultimate episode is meant to set up the finale, in which case the overall lack of story development here kind of felt like it made sense, but it's also the same things that we've been seeing happening since episode 6. Ezra and Sabine are still catching up, Baylan is still looking for something that we still don't truly know what it is, and Thrawn and his ship are still getting ready to leave Peridea. It didn't even set up anything besides our heroes being reunited, and the almost literal phrase of "we're about to finish" sort of countdown with the ship being ready to finally depart the planet. So that just begs the question, what exactly will happen in the finale? Well, I for one certainly hope that Thrawn's ship at the very least leaves the atmosphere of Peridea. But will our heroes be on it, or will they have to hitch a ride back on the Purgles the same way that they got there? And will we even find out what the beginning is that Baylan Skoll has been searching for this whole time? We're once again left with more questions than answers, but again, nothing is really new. I just feel like they spent entirely too much time on things with little to no consequences to the story as a whole, and yet somehow they're still being praised by fans. And there are still plenty of good things in here, don't get me wrong, but they're so few and far between, I almost question if it's worth it. And for that, I'm gonna have to reserve my judgment for after next week's finale, because I hope that whatever it is that they're taking their sweet time on, at least it has some kind of payoff besides Thrawn returning to the main galaxy. Otherwise, this whole adventure is kind of a waste of time, and could have easily taken place in the first 2 to 3 episodes of an animated Rebels Season 5 had they gone that route. Either way, I guess we'll find out next week how this whole thing shakes out. But at least for now, those are my thoughts on episode 7 of Ahsoka, and I want to hear from you in the Nerdgenic community. What did you think of this episode? What did you like and not like about it? Do you feel like next week should be the season finale, or that nothing was even set up for the finale? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below, and while you're down there, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos, as well as my thoughts on the season finale of Ahsoka next week. But also be sure to give us a follow across all social media platforms at Nerdgenic. That way you don't miss out on any special news, announcements, or articles at nerdgenic.com. But in the meantime, if you want even more video content from us, check out my thoughts on the previous episode of Ahsoka right over here, or for more Star Wars content, check out this playlist right over here. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, we really do appreciate it, we hope to see you in the next video, and of course, may the Force be with you.